let's go have a day. We can finally do some football. Let's have some fun with it.
Football is all about chemistry and how much you trust your teammates. But chemistry takes time. That time comes in OTAs.
Go ahead. It ain't for everybody.
Putting the time in to learn about each other is essential to our success. A team's first practice together can be unpredictable. New faces, new schemes, new everything can make it impossible. That's what OTAs are for.
Those OTAs are really important because it kind of helps you build that first relationship, and then you get into rhythm with an individual or a new transfer, and the rhythm and connection is really important on the field. Like right now I'm playing next to a guy named Vincent Murphy or Vinny Murphy. He's playing center right now, and every center plays differently. How he approaches things and how he will make calls and stuff like that, the word usage and stuff like that, it's all different. So being able to kind of have that same repetition with him and going over and over it again is really important.
The OTAs are extremely important, not only as far as like team success, but just room success. Obviously coming in as a new coach with a new room, you want to find ways to be able to be innovative and catch their attention.
Swing these shoulders. Once you get here, you got to swing them and get vertical. All right?
You know, coming in as a new coach, it's all about breaking the ice, and the OTAs allows for that because we have those independent meetings that we have with those guys, so it's one-on-one time talking with them, and then giving them a chance to see my style of coaching before we get into spring ball was very beneficial for the group.
Being able to learn the new scheme, I know it's a lot of new faces in the defense on both sides of the ball, actually. So being able to learn how we do things around here, the Tulane way, build up the culture leading into spring ball.
Sean Nicholas, he came in, I mean, this guy should be preparing to go to his senior prom right now. And he's out there, you know, giving great effort. He might not know where he's going right now, but, you know, that'll come. That's why they got the name coach in front of my name. But his ability to make plays has been outstanding, and sky's the limit for him.
Jalen Geiger and Caleb Rainsell, I feel like those two guys, they showed me that they committed, being that they're new guys, new faces to this Tulane family. They showed me that they committed, that they trust the way that we do things around here, and they're excited to be here.
OTAs are for building our connection with each other. But to truly win in this city, you need to build a connection with the entire community. So today, we're taking some time to get back to our roots, back to where it all started, elementary school.
Great. Big boy, what's happening? How you doing, man?
Coach Sumrall was very intentional coming into this program, thinking of ways that our players could get involved in our community. Our university is in a place where so many schools and our youth need to be served. So we thought of an idea where our team could go out and just give back and represent this school well and make an impact on our community.
There was actually a bunch of staff members that were still there from when I was there. And one of them kind of helped orchestrate the whole thing. I reached out to her, and she really was really happy whenever me and Tyler Groves got there. She actually started crying whenever we were sitting there reading to the kids, and I know it meant a lot to her.
Guys, setting hey, Duncan,
it's me, Red Crayon. Oh, my friend Jello over there. Everybody wave.
It felt amazing to go back, you know, and just to be with the kids and play with them for a little bit and let them know that, like, as long as you trust the process that Coach, you know, got got down here for y'all. Y'all gonna get where y'all want to get. Y'all gonna be successful.
Yeah, look. You gonna get it? Yeah, I catch it.
Like the disciplinarians were there, and we, as we were leaving, one of them kind of jokingly gave Tyler a detention slip. So it was really fun to kind of go back and look back on like where we came from, and it really meant a lot to them, and they meant a lot to me and Tyler. So.
Some routes are different than others. Sometimes you just need a little reminder that you don't just have to play football.
So guys, you're gonna do a warm up, then we're gonna go into blocking, and I'm gonna do a short.
Me, I did a theater. So my play role was a Scarecrow. It was a fun experience. I used to act before. I used to act in high school. So I had a hat on with a sword. The hat didn't fit me well because my hair.
This is for the top of the show. Thank you. Places.
But it was a great experience with them, seeing the kids smiling.
Yes. How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Help! I'm burning, help!
So I think that was the best part, just doing theater with them.
Oh, what a world! Oh, what a world! Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful weakness? Oh, look out! I'm going, oh!
So he just said he's done some acting before, so football players can act too.
It was my junior. I say it was my junior. My theater teacher, she liked how I act, and she would just asking me, "Hey, can you do this scene, this next role we gonna do?" And I was just thinking about it because I really be shy, in front of the crowds and stuff. But she said, you don't gotta be shy. You're not gonna see the audience because it'll be really dark. They gonna just see you. What she said, just be yourself. So once I be myself, I talk more and start open up in front of everybody. As of right now, just talking in front of my teammates, my coaches, the people I see around public, just talking. And that's how I get better, just open up with them. So I think that really helps me a lot.
For me, I kind of told him my goal was to help him emerge as a vocal leader amongst the team. And it's something that he really wants to go about doing, and he's just trying to figure it out. So, I kind of give him little tidbits on how to go about doing things, and you're starting to see him interact more and become more vocal, which is pivotal for our team's success, because usually when you have guys that play well, guys pay attention to them. And I think he's starting to understand his voice and the impact that he can have on the team. And I think that'll go a long way for our success this season.
Going back to school isn't the only homecoming that we've been a part of.
I'm Brock Hayes, running back coach at Tulane University from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised in Algiers, 15 Ward of New Orleans.
Ask anyone from New Orleans. Coaching in this city just means more.
It just means more when you're doing it in the city you grew up in, for your hometown.
Being from here is something when it's instilled in you, you just take so much pride in it. I can remember going off to college and when people ask you where you're from, the first thing you say, I'm from New Orleans, I'm from New Orleans, I'm from New Orleans, and people always want to know about it. And you don't really realize how cool of a city it is to grow up in until you actually leave it.
There's no other place like it. No other place like New Orleans. Nobody, I don't know if nobody pins money on people for their birthdays. I don't know if you go into another state if they do that. I don't know if another state calls their godfathers parents. I don't know if anybody else but us make groceries.
Well, I thought a lot of the stuff that I did was normal, and then you realize that it's not normal to other people. And it kind of helps you stand out a little bit, so that's kind of the advantages of being from here. Where else would you find this type of culture outside of this city? Nowhere, honestly. It can try to be duplicated, but it won't. It's nowhere to find the culture, the festivities, the food, the things that people love the most. You're in a major city, so there's always some place to go, somewhere to go. We get a lot of guys that come back home after they've left because they miss that. They miss that feeling that you get. It's a feeling that's hard to explain, but you just know it when you're from here. When you back, it just cultivates your body, and you're like, I'm home. Man, you know, having a chance to come home was really one of the biggest draws to taking the job to come to Tulane to coach. You know, when opportunity presented itself and coach asked if I would come, the first person I thought about was my daughter, Lila. My daughter, out of my 3 kids, is the only one that's actually born in New Orleans. Like, to have the opportunity to come home and give her a piece of who I am, you know, it's huge, because it is her bloodline, it is her heritage. She's from New Orleans, but she doesn't know it. Home is where the heart is. You know, when you're born and raised somewhere, you take great pride in it. We do this thing, like, every time I take a job, I bring the family up, whether it's late afternoon or at night, and we come through, and it's almost like they're on a visit in OV, and I'm hosting them, and I show them everything about the complex, the facilities and everything, and then we take them out on the field, and everybody just runs the field. Like, I sit back in the end zone and I watch them take off, my kids and my wife, and I sit there and you know, I get a little teary-eyed, but I won't show it. That means the most to me. You know, just seeing like the joy and see them run around and you know, hearing wow and oh, this nice and all this stuff. Like, it's real surreal. My kids are my everything. It's not about me, it's them. And putting them in position to be better than what I was and give them opportunity to experience more than what I did is like my driving force for what I am. So this literally gives me a chance to get them home, get them around family, and I'm pretty excited about that. Like, that was a big component of me coming home, was having a chance for my kids to be able to see my family and see where I grew up at and get a chance to embrace this culture. New Orleans is unique. I mean, at the end of the day, it's unique.
Spring football, where you earn everything from your spot on the field to the decal on your helmet.
Hey, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yes, sir. Hey, if you can't take the heat, get about the kitchen, man.
Have a hell of a day one, you got me? Yes, sir. Lock in, communicate, great effort on the ground. Nobody on the ground today. Everybody good? Yes, sir.
Now, that means we got to strain harder for longer. Okay. We got to go hard. This is our profession. This is what we do. We built for this, man. Let's go. Practice one. You can tell that it's a good culture in place. We brought in a good crop of guys who have good locker room character and have good values. And you also have Coach Sumrall, who has, you know, is just as high of a standard. He's bringing that winning culture here. And so the winning culture is here, the leadership roles and all those things you need are there.
The cool part about this process is they were trying to figure out our angle, and we were trying to figure out their angle as well of what we wanted this team to be about. And it was a little shaky in the beginning, obviously because things are new and you're trying to understand the approach of how things go. And when you look at us now to this point, I think the guys have a good understanding of like how we're trying to operate this thing. And you can see it now since we've started spring ball, how the guys are starting to move around and do things the way that we're accustomed to doing, which they've been able to answer, which is a good sign. Because you know that makes a big difference when you have success as a team. If the guys can start to lead it on their own, which you're starting to see happen, that is a good sign of a good program.
Get vertical! Get vertical! Hit it!
Football practice can be poetry in motion, everything happening at the exact right moment. All of this doesn't just happen by accident. The hardest working people in the building are often found on the team, behind the team.
My name is Jacob Feliciano. I'm the Assistant Director of Facilities and Events and the Turf Manager here at Tulane.
I am Brandon Vanalik, and I am the Associate Director of Football Video.
I'm Cody Hybrider. I'm the Director of Football Equipment Operations.
My name is John Milia. I'm the Head Football Athletic Trainer and Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine.
So we're here on our football field. We usually do a clean sweep, which is our machine right here, about once a week. Throughout our day-to-day, we make sure it's leveled and maintained throughout, the past few days. So basically when I first get the field and everything ready, I usually walk the field, look for any divots or any of that nature, or look at anything that's uneven. To actually get this field nice and neat will take probably about 2.5 hours.
We do the video, we do the computers, we're IT. We provide film to study. We give access to the players. We get everything we possibly can for the coaches to study as well, We just try to make everyone as good as we possibly can be, and we don't want to be the bottleneck in the system, Like, we are, whatever you need, we got, or we'll get.
So basically the scope of my job is making sure that everything behind the scenes runs smoothly, from fitting the players, making sure that they're protected, to also making sure that the coaches have everything that they need for practice as well. And then we are running practice as smoothly as possible, making sure that everything is out on the field ready to go, and that we transition from drill to drill to get us through practice as efficiently as we can.
They are kind of the heartbeat of the team. You don't realize all the work that they have to do. They get up here earlier than we do, they leave later than we do. It's really impressive to see kind of how much work goes into what they do.
So typically we get here around 5 o'clock. If guys have meetings at 7, we'll have our kind of beginning of the day meeting to just get set on like what guys are doing, what restrictions they have during practice, and what we're going to be doing with them. Pre-practice treatments, movement prep, all that stuff.
Full-time workers will get here at 6 a.m. To make sure that we have the scripts, that the athletes are taken care of before they go to treatment, that if there's any curveballs or anything that comes out of nowhere on any given day, that we can adjust for that. And then our student managers will show up roughly 6:45, about an hour before practice starts, and they'll start taking stuff out onto the field, getting stuff ready for the different walkthroughs, and then we'll go straight into practice from that. And then we'll be off the field typically by 10:30 or 11 after cleanup.
Students are essential for my operation. We try to get 15 here. Like, one person can't do all that. It's literally impossible. When I started this job, we had 4 kids, and half of them filmed most of practice. Like, video needs just weren't the same.
So we have 3 full-times now. We've got 2 graduate assistants. And we have anywhere from 8 to 10 students, depending on the day and the time of year that it might be.
Our students come in at 6 a.m. in which they start setting up the field. We have 5 stations for water and 2 isolated pumpers for easy accessible water sources. We also have our emergency equipment on the 50-yard line, in which we have a mini training room, spine board, AED, splint bag for any situation that might occur.
So each day our students get in around 7 o'clock for a 7:45 practice, but a lot of times the team starts early, so we need to be ready. So we get here early. I get here at 5:30 and I start building our schedule for the day, but once the kids roll in, we try to have it all ready. We like to know who's coming beforehand, and then we give them their assignment for the day, and then we will roll on out there after we watch some of our film from the practice before.
I would say without them, like, majority of the practice wouldn't be practice. Like, our equipment manager, Cody, he does, he gotta deal with 120 of us on a daily basis. So I feel like, and then go home and to tend towards his family. So I feel like a lot of those guys behind the scenes, like academics, video people, everything like that, I feel like they're a Superman to this football program, and we wouldn't be where we're at without them.
Why be a defense when you can be the defense?
Get a rep, make it count.
Simply put, that is a standard that defensive coordinator Greg Gasper has set for his players.
Not a bad first day, but not bad is not good enough. You know what I'm saying?
And if you ask any member of the Tulane defense, that standard is non-negotiable.
You're going to blitz like a something today, I know it.
think he's a great dude first and foremost as a person. I think that makes it very fun to be around, very easy to work with and for. But then he's extremely organized, extremely intelligent, and he's got a real strong upbringing in this defense, so he knows scenarios.
Coach Gas is somebody that's very energetic. He brings a lot of energy in the room, and he's very understanding of the players. You know, a lot of coaches out there, they wouldn't be is either their way or the highway. I feel like Coach Gas, he's very understanding. He hears out his players.
I feel like we have a lot of freedom at times, but also at the same time, I feel like when we need to be when we need to be technical and we need to be sound, I feel like we can also do that.
As a Tulane defense, we're gonna talk, we're gonna run, and we're gonna hit.
A word I would use to describe this new staff is intense, and I love them.
We're going to be sound, we're going to be fast, physical, and we're going to be relentless. And I tell the guys all the time, there's one team in the country every year that is the standard. At the end of the season, people are going to go say, hey, who do we need to study to get better this year? And that needs to be us. And there's one team that can chase the ball better than anybody in the country, and that's us. So we talk about 3 non-negotiables that we have in this defense. We're going to talk, we got to communicate, and that's where it starts. We're going to run, we got to chase the ball, and we're going to hit people. It's not flag football yet, so we're going to put our pads on people. You got to feel it.
Make the quarterback earn his scholarship. Now I'm gonna call as we go. I'm gonna mix some stuff up, all right?
Just because you put that logo on doesn't mean you're going to win football games. And we got to get the right people in the right spots. Now, I think we got the right guys on the bus. We got some athletes that can run. We got some longer guys. We got some athletic guys. We got some big physical guys up front. But we got to put them in the right seats and figure out what they do well. And that's a big part of what spring practice is about, is seeing what each player does individually really, really well, what they need to work on and what their deficiencies are, and try to tailor a scheme around them to make them successful.
I think we've got a group of guys that, even though a ton of dudes that haven't played a bunch, we've got athletic guys, we've got guys that are intelligent. I think we've got a core group of guys that actually want to be successful. You got guys at all position groups that can like Pat on the defensive line, whether it's Zeus or Machado, Zeus or Grubbs in my room, and you can go on and on with each level of the defense that have like a legitimate want to get things right and want to do things successfully and go about it the right way. So I think that helps a ton when you're talking about just getting early success as guys that are leaders in a certain position group that kind of mentor everybody else to do things the right way.
Gotta go!
Sometimes the only way to find out who you truly are is to strap up and play. When we put those pads on, our mentality has to change.
Boom. Go, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Hey. Listen. We got them dials on today, all right? Yeah, there's gonna be a little contact. Some pads are gonna be popping. All right? If pads ain't popping, we got a problem. Right, triple cut. I said, good job. Not bad, not bad. Hey, let's keep those hands moving. I said, we just gotta be more violent. Let's go.
First day of pads is like first day of school in elementary for a lot of us. So I felt like it was a lot of excitement, and it's something that like a lot of football players look forward to.
The one thing I love the most about the first day in pads is it starts to separate guys. Because, you know, a lot of guys out there, they like to be rah-rah guys, they play around, and I like to joke around with them a lot, and I call them T-shirt All-Americans, you know, when we're in OTAs. And then once the pads come on, it really starts to, like, separate a lot of guys.
One big thing that Coach Sumrall emphasizes is physicality and toughness. So if you're a guy that kind of gets away from contact, well, he's going to get it out of you. He'll roughen you up.
Once I see somebody else make a play, somebody else make a big hit or something like that, it makes me want to go out there and reciprocate that same energy.
The line of scrimmage play, it changes. You know, and you see people move people, or you either move people or you get moved, you know. And today, pads were popping at times. It was real football. You know, you go a couple of days in T-shirts to kind of get things organized. And
oh, it's because that's real football. Like, we could run around in T-shirts and shorts all day. Like, everybody look good in T-shirts and shorts. That's when we put them pads on, that's when your mentality got to change.
And with that, week 1 has come to a close. The next time you see us, the stakes get higher, the plays get bigger, and the hits get harder. It's time to scrimmage.
Spielberg over here.
Running the game, running the game, running the game. We run the game by all means possible. 2010, this our year, we don't stop, man. I go by the name of Mr. Big Chris. I'm the man with the white head coach. Scratching teams off the list each and every week. Green Wave front page, just watch and see. Saturday, Superdome, where you wanna be. All this Benz paid trip. Tennessee.